Wisp. For my whole life, sci-fi has been probably, I don't know if this is out of turn, best genre of all time. In gaming, books, shows, movies, fanfic, sci-fi just kills it. It's got this ability to consistently pull me in no matter what. And it doesn't let me go. It'll be 5 hours later and I'm sitting on the couch like a cave diver in fucking Wikipedia. It just, I don't know if it's the boy-like spacey future stuff in me or what, but it could be the spectacle of franchises like Transformers, Marvel, not so much now, but back in the day, the strange, whacked out, weird shit like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Fifth Element, Color Out of Space. Anything with Nick Cage going crazy is going to be good, but or just like the sickness, the food poisoning that is Redline. I love all of it. I just think like science fiction just gives storytellers the breathing room to flex their muscles and push their imagination to the brink. I think it's a genius genre that allows you to make up your own rules and it doesn't really ask for anything in return. Like even when it's getting a bit weird, we consciously don't really ask for much explanation. Like we ask for explanation, but we don't expect it to make sense in our world. Like, and while yes, they usually do have to be set in the future or modern times or space, that's just like one tiny little rule. And 9 times out of 10, you can easily circumvent that with like some made up technology of your world, or even just the perspective of your character in that world. Parallel universes, time travel, alternate dimensions, like you use those words and the world is your oyster. Or you can go the simulation route and you can literally do whatever you want. Unfortunately, this can kind of lead to some mass confusion when it comes to the opinion, I think, of common audiences. Many people hear like science and think, I don't want to think. I want bang bang gun or fight finger or kissy kissy romance. Very funny. I just think a lot of people don't want to leave a movie with a feeling of confusion, you know? Like, they want a clean finish. They don't want lingering questions. They don't want to walk out of a movie and be like, but what the fuck? Like, what did that mean? Like, how did he do that again? Like, no think you think, please. They want their burger that they paid for. They don't want sides. That's all they want. Which sucks. Like, it really sucks. Because sci-fi has led to some of, in my opinion, the greatest stories and worlds ever told and created in our lifetime. Like, and not just in movies. That's barely scratching the surface. You got stories and settings like Mass Effect, possibly the greatest space setting in modern storytelling. I think possibly, yeah, sounds about right. Cyberpunk. It's cyberpunk. Like, it's amazing. Like iRobot, Dark City, Altered Carbon. Like, these worlds have led to some of the greatest tales of love, heroism, revenge, and mystery ever told in modern media. Hands down. That's not really why we're here, right? what happens when you take a genre like sci-fi with that much freedom and you just make it fucking terrifying? You get sci-fi thrillers, horrors. Years ago, as a small little French boy, I says to my papa, Papa, what's the Matrix? And my dad turned around, he got visibly upset, and he said, I don't know, ask your mum. So I did. I says to my mama, Mama, Matrix? And we watched the Matrix. And as it did with many a young boy, it changed me forever. In a deep, deep, deep way, it changed me. Yeah, fights were like sick as fuck. I mean, like, no one's gonna say no to Keanu doing flips off the wall and like running along the wall and doing flips next to the wall. And he's so fucking hot in that movie. Like, maybe I need to watch Matrix again. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. But it's not why it stuck with me, and I'm guessing it's not why it stuck with the majority of people who have watched it. And if you haven't watched it, you're not a person. I don't know what you are, but you should figure that out. It was what followed over the next few days after watching it. Those creeping thoughts in the back of my head. Like, could we? Guys, is this widowy or situation right now? Like, could it all just be a computer program? Like, am I tripping? Or, like, if Morpheus frowned extra hard, would his glasses fall off? That was what was keeping me up at night. And it's terrifying stuff for a young French boy. And while I think we can all agree Matrix is not a sci-fi thriller, it kind of is. It's not a horror. It certainly felt like baby French boys' first steps, you know? And for a while that was that. I watched normal kid stuff. I was blown away by Shrek 2, naturally. Mildly scared by Scarface. And then the second sci-fi thriller hit. And that was 2009's District 9. And as a 14-year-old non-French little French boy, I remember walking out of the theater dazed. Didn't know what to think. I was like, whoa, were we the baddies? Like, were prawns really prawns? Why did the deodorant make him scaly? It was gripping stuff, truly. And since that day, my sticky little smooth brain just thirsty, so thirsty for more. It was gagging for existential terror. And fucking nothing does it like sci-fi thrillers, horrors. When I say thrillers, I'm talking thrillers and horrors, okay? I don't want to get it twisted. It's not just thrillers, it's both of them. If I say thrillers and horrors, it sounds stupid. Now let's just ask a question. What's the fucking scariest environment known to man? Go on. Yeah, you could say the ocean. It's definitely terrifying. You've been in the deep ocean, you look down and it's just black and you feel like your feet are going to get like... It's terrifying. You'd be right. You could say space. You'd be right. A lot of you would say Twitter. You are right. But what do they all have in common? All are vastly unknown. The desolate, uncaring environments that could be home to beasts and horrors the human brain can barely comprehend. Like crypto bros and fucking people who think Elon Musk is cool. Anyway, you're all right. Very good. Very good job. But the real answer is the unknown. It's arguably the scariest concept in human history. We're programmed in monkey language to be terrified of what we don't know. Obviously. Like, you can't understand it, see it, hear it, or feel it. It's hardwired into our brains. Like, you're gonna be scared of something that you don't know. Don't know where it's coming from, don't know where it's going, don't know what it looks like. Terrifying. And literally no other genre can do that as good as sci-fi, thrillers, and horrors. Well, let's take the 2013 science fiction classic Coherence, for example. For those who aren't like goated and haven't seen it, the film follows 4 couples at a dinner party, right? And on this night, a comet is like passing over a bit closer than it did the previous years. And as the night go on, the comet starts to like mess with reality a little bit. Don't really want to spoil it because I went into it knowing nothing and had a very low opinion of it, and it's possibly the best found footage movie ever made, and it's definitely worth watching. Anywho, the moment you realize what is happening, when it started happening, and how long it's been happening for, like, oh, the sense of dread and fear and sadness that like sinks into your bones is insane. I had to like pause the movie because I was like, no. And when you realize that like everyone who has left that house and come back is not the original version of that person, and it just keeps progressing, is terrifying. Like, and its plot just doesn't work in any other genre. Like, you could probably maybe pull it off in a dark fantasy setting if you really played with some magic shit, but it would come off like campy and like kind of like a satire, I think. I really don't think it would work because its underlying sense of dread and fear of the unknown, the uncertainty is what's happening, wouldn't be there. Like, your brain has a easier time explaining magic in a fantasy realm than it does science concepts in a futuristic space realm. Like your brain can be, I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like when I'm watching fantasy movies, I'm like, oh yeah, magic would easily do that. Duh. Like, it's magic. Duh. Whereas, like, because science can be so confusing, your brain won't get it, and so there's a fear of the unknown. Like, you're scared of it. It's like a cycle. Another example is, like, any space movie on a ship or a station. It's inherently already fucking scary due to the sheer isolating effect that space has on human beings. Like, I don't think there's a more lonely place that you could be than space. Or, like, the bottom of the ocean. But even then, most of the time when they're at the bottom of the ocean, there's other people there. There's other people in space, never mind. Couple that with like, just other factors of space, like how long it can take for help to arrive, if it ever would. And it's just a recipe for perfection and terror. Throw in a guy in a scary suit with a cock for a head, and you've got an instant classic. My wife, blessed be her name, has been famously about sci-fi. Like, she's tried the big uns, Star Wars, Matrix, Space Odyssey. Nothing really stuck. Like, she's only human. She loved Anakin, found him very sexy in number 3, as did I. Revenge of the Sith is good for her. Matrix 1 is good for her. The rest is it's and it's nothing's really pulled her in and wanting her to be like, ooh, what's going on here? And then she asked me to watch Alien a few weeks ago. And after taking a good solid day to be like, what the fuck? I was obviously fucking down. Like, Ridley Scott's Alien is still, to this day, one of the greatest sci-fi horror thrillers ever put to a screen. Like, don't even get me started on how a movie from 1979 can look that good in 2025. It is nearly 54 years old, and it looks incredible. Like, I'll say the audio's aged a bit. It's not amazing. It's not as good as this video, obviously, but like, I could talk about the visuals of this movie until the Batman 3 fucking comes out. So, to my absolute, she loved it, and I am fully aware that 90% of why she loved it was because of Sigourney Weaver with an 80s mullet. So fat it makes Americans' obesity rates look natural. But I'll take it. I'm taking a win wherever I can. And so we watched Aliens afterwards. And then Romulus. And while I did not find them nearly as scary as I did when I was a kid, in my brain, my primal little monkey brain, I was just cycling. Like, this would be fucking terrifying. Like, take any other monster movie, and it's probably not nearly as terrifying because of Alien's use of the unknown. It's an unknown planet in an unknown system with an unknown parasite that births an unknown species. They don't know where they are, they don't know what they're fucking doing, they can't shoot it, they can't hide from it, they can't run from it, they can't leave it, they don't know how to fight it or do anything. It's all just guesswork. Compare it to like another movie, like monster movie, such as Jurassic Park. As an adult, okay? I know. As a kid, fucking terrifying. Do you know why it is terrifying? Because we couldn't fucking fathom what a dinosaur truly was. We didn't know. And so it's terrifying. But not as an adult. Like, because we more or less know what a dinosaur is now and that they don't exist anymore. Like, the movies end up feeling more like action adventure romps, like Indiana Jones with a little bit of Big Lizard. But because of Alien's use of the isolation and that unknown nature of space, a setting we inherently know next to nothing about, it builds dread and terror and intrigue at a far more alarming rate than most other genres, in my humble opinion. Which brings me to a very big point of why, in my opinion, sci-fi thrillers and horrors are just a cut above the rest. Intrigue. Like, holy ghosts above. In my opinion, no other genre is as intriguing as science fiction thrillers. Like, whether it's the background companies and the politics of Alien and like where it came from and like, oh, why do they want it? the terrorists and corporate secrets of cyberpunk. Like, what are they doing? Oh my god, why are they doing that? The countless lives lived in Altered Carbon, like just you could follow one person for like 1,000 years and just be like, holy shit, they know all this stuff. Or the like increasingly foreboding history of the Matrix. Like, sci-fi has the ability to consume your interest for hours off of like a throwaway sentence from a character. Like, someone might just mention something in the background and you're like, the fuck did he just say? And then you're like, for like me, days. I'll do it for days. And it for me, it just keeps coming back to the freedom that the genre offers for a writer. Like, anything can be as weird as you want it to be because you can explain it with rules that you can create. You aren't governed by any tangible rules. Like, literally any form of scientific rule you can bend and break to your liking. Like, want to explain time travel with lucid dreaming? Easy. You just makes up some shit about like quantum mechanics. Chuck quantum in there and you can do whatever you want. Like, the things you can create will naturally be scarier than most things that exist in our tangible reality, except like anglerfish and the ever-expansive, crushing darkness of the deep ocean. They're pretty high up there. But yeah, I just think like horrors and thrillers go with sci-fi like mash and gravy and KFC tendies. It's fucking biblical when it works. When it works, it definitely works, you know? Like, it's full-time, it's got a salary, it's 9 to 5, baby. I will be fair, though. When it doesn't work, it's fucking homeless. It is destitute. Roll some B-roll right now. After watching Aliens, my beautiful, gorgeous wife says to me, she says, what about Alien versus Predator? And I said, yeah, it's been like 21 years. I'm probably not scared of Predator anymore. And yeah, it's not incredible, but it does the job, sort of, I guess. Why they went with a fucking PG-13 rating on this movie is batshit insane. I don't know why they did it. We watched it. It was alright. I don't know why it scared me so much when I was a kid, but it's fine. And then she asked me about Alien vs. Predator Requiem. Now, in my formulative baby boy years, not many other films in my circle were this anticipated. This shit was like Endgame on crack. Like, it was this and Ninja Assassin potentially getting a sequel. Those were like the two big things happening. And like, the fucking cliffhanger tease of a Predator Xenomorph in Alien vs. Predator was diabolical to a teenage boy. That shit was like the coolest fucking thing you could think of. I read some of the omnibuses, the books for Alien vs. Predator, so I was like foaming for it. After I'd gotten over traumatizing night terrors of predators in my room, which is those like fucking 3 dots, like fucking. And good fucking Christ, did they not deliver on that shit at all. Like, firstly, this shit was like the ancestor of Battle of Winterfell, okay? Like, people complained about Battle of Winterfell and it being dark, and I was like, you guys have not seen Alien vs. Predator Requiem, because I'm convinced this movie was lit with fucking white paper. It is like a blind simulation. Like, it's Daredevil roleplay. The movie is famously dark for no reason. Like, all the other movies. Fucking Predator is mainly in the day. Alien is mainly in a ship that is white. Like, you can still be scary. You don't have to turn the fucking brightness all the way down. Like, it's not like you've woken up and your phone is fucking... Like, you know what I mean? And it was made by special effects artists who worked on Titanic and The Day After Tomorrow. Like, I can look past the plot and the story just being a big fart because it was their directorial debut, and they haven't touched the franchise since 2010. It's forgiven. But how are you gonna be a special effects artist and not know how to light your movie? Just get some LEDs and a floodlight. Like, how is this so hard? 2010, I haven't touched it. It's fine. Secondly, I get it. It's a predator alien cross species. But did they have to call it the Predalien? Was there truly nothing else we could have done to save ourselves from that? Like, the fucking Predomorph would have been better. Well, maybe not. Not. Yeah, I'm not sure, actually. That is tough, actually. And, like, lastly, the design of this thing was just dog water. Like, pure, unedible shit. Like, they starved on this movie. It gets stuck in doorways. You can't be scary or intimidating when you're stuck in doorways. And it goes on to fight possibly humanity's most dangerous soldiers. A maternity ward. And homeless people. So, you know, like, real top of the line competition. But as the centuries-old adage tells us, even when pizza is shit, it's still bread with sauce. Like, it's still alright. And while AVP Requiem is bone fucking dry, it still has that little power of intrigue. Like, you know, like, even if it's the wrong questions or bad questions, it's still making you ask them. And that's all it takes to drag you kicking and screaming into Sci-Fi's stank-ass, danky basement filled with Reddit theory threads and fan Wikipedias. But, yeah, what the fuck am I talking about? I don't know. Sci-Fi horrors are really fucking cool because they offer a unique form of escapism that I feel can't really be matched by any other genre. Like, their gripping settings and strange laws are just so fun to engross yourself in and try to figure out. Also, this shit can be fucking terrifying sometimes. Like, remove aliens and monsters and shit altogether. You know what my biggest fucking fear is? What rattles my spine? Watching someone on a spacewalk break their tether and then just float into space. Like, that shit will put shit in my pants, brother. Anyway, I don't know. This is my first video. I didn't know what to tackle or how to tackle it, so I'm kind of just mad riffing here. But my name is Michael, and I fucking love movies, and I fucking love sci-fi, and I fucking love talking about them, and I'm gonna try and keep talking about them. Please don't make me say the YouTube stuff. I have enough memories haunting me at night. Peace.